time is now 7 p.m. Time for the CBC Evening News. This time check is brought to you by Fruta.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
An effort on to bring gun violence under control. A community link around some St. Michael districts. And in sports, Jason Holder's men ready to face the pink ball.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lloyd with the CBC Evening News. And our top story. Prime Minister Fundell Stewart has weighed in on gun violence in Barbados. He says it is a problem the Royal Barbados Police Force is wrestling with. Mr. Stewart says there is a link between gun violence and the illegal drugs trade, and efforts are being made to bring it under control.
We are dealing here with a challenge that will require all of our resources to be mobilized to confront it, and the government stands ready to work with the church because it is causing immense pain to our families. And unless we can emit rays of hope to our people in terms of how best we can get this problem brought under some kind of control, the family will continue to be put under pressure.
Mr. Stewart's comments came at a national consultation on the Barbadian family hosted by the Diocese of Barbados. It was held under the theme, Restoring Our Barbadian Family, at the Ivan Herwood Center of the Christchurch Parish Church. There, Prime Minister Stewart called for greater attention to be paid to the stability of family life.
I think that the whole issue of problem solving and dealing with challenges at the domestic level and in society generally has to be a serious agenda item if we are going to make our families stable. Now, keep in mind that we're talking about the nation, but a nation ultimately is a collection of families. And what happens in the nation, therefore, is going to affect families, and what happens at the local family level is going to have an impact on the nation.
Meantime, Bishop of Barbados, the Most Reverend Dr. John Holder, says the Anglican Church is concerned about the many challenges Barbadian families face.
We believe that it is the responsibility of the Church and other religious organizations and institutions to assist those who may be experiencing family problems. We, in this diocese, have been doing so for many years through our largest organization, the Mothers Union. And we thank God for the contribution this organization has made to the strengthening of Christian family life in Barbados, the good work it has done over the years. And there are similar organizations in other churches, in other religions.
Well, if you were a motorist or a pedestrian traveling along Government Hill, Pine Road or Pine Plantation Road this morning, you would have been greeted with the scene of several school children holding hands. It was for the Unity in the Community Link, which started from outside the Springer Memorial School.
Thousands of excited students and old scholars from Springer Memorial and neighboring schools assembled along the sidewalk to form the human chain link. The event also included an athlete's trident run along the route and a special appearance by Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Harcourt Husbands, praised the Springer Memorial School for organizing the event and encouraged others to have similar events.
And it is initiatives like these at the local level that make the celebration of our 50th anniversary important. The things that the National Committee does and so on, those are good and great. But when you have initiatives like these solely organized by ordinary individuals, this is really what it's all about.
Meantime, Deputy Principal of the Springer Memorial, Michelle Maxwell, thanked the participants for their support.
This has been truly a wonderful day, a significant day in the life of the students and the staff of Springer Memorial School. We also wish to thank our old scholars who have returned, who were promoting it very much so, and all those persons who are well-wishers, who have our school's interests at heart. We want to thank you all for being here.
For many of the students, it was a good experience.
It's a good feeling, but I wasn't really prepared like that. I feel good because it's the 50th anniversary and we're representing Barbados.
I feel happy and excited today because this is my first time coming out here with all of this. I feel excited because this is my first chinglet out here with Springer and the other schools. I feel excited because this is our first time out here with all the schools.
Shane Jones, CBC News.
Well, with 400 employees on its payroll, A1 Supermarket has a huge stake in Barbados' future success. This is according to Managing Director of the company, Andrew Bynol, as he and several staff members took part in the CBC's Guardians of Our Heritage initiative. Mr. Bynol says a now 35-year-old company like Barbados has a rich history and is committed to weathering the storms going forward.
Obviously, there are times when we would have rolled off the skates in the wrong direction, but I am confident that we Barbadians know what to do, and therefore we can look forward to going further, with the bar promise. Looking at ourselves within the mirror, yes, when we do that, we can see what needs to be done. So I am looking forward to beyond today. Now, I ought to say that among us here today, we have staff who have been with us for 35 years. Our company was formed in 1981. So out of this 50, we have been battling it along for the last 35. And we are happy that as a Barbadian company, we can see 35 years of good, solid contribution to this community.
And welcoming the A1 Supermarket team, news reporter Lisa Broom thanked them for their partnership with the corporation and their contribution to the island.
I thought that initiatives like the CBC, where we put Barbadians doing positive things on television for other Barbadians to see and emulate and be proud of. And then I thought about A1 Supermarket being a wholly owned Barbadian company, employing Barbadians, having Barbadians in leadership positions. I think things like that, those are things that the Mr. Barrow would want to see reflected in that mirror as we look back at ourselves. Those types of things and this, the Guardians of Our Heritage, I think he would be well pleased.
Well, telecommunications giant Digicel will be celebrating the island's 50th anniversary of independence by giving back. Chief Executive Officer of Digicel Barbados, Connor Looney, says customers can look out for lots of prizes and giveaways until the end of November. And Mr. Looney was speaking as Digicel became the latest company to host the commemorative Broken Trident at its Warren's office. The Trident has been making its way across the island, visiting numerous businesses, churches and schools. And there are now 49 days left until independence. The Barbados Water Authority is advising Barbadians that as part of the Inter-American Development Bank's water sanitation systems upgrade project, the Allendale pumping station in St. Lucie will be shut down from 10 tomorrow morning until 4 in the afternoon. This is to install a 6-inch production meter. Customers in the following areas should therefore expect low water pressure or outages: Sherman's, Half Moon Fort, Colleton Gardens, Checker Hall, Maycox, Bourbon, Barrows, Friendly Hall, Crab Hill, Husbands, Trents, Nestfield, Broomfield, Harrows, Archers, Retreat, Hope and surrounding districts. Residents and businesses in these areas are asked to store an adequate amount of water for the duration of the shutdown, and the BWA says it regrets any inconvenience caused. Do stay with us. We'll have more news right after this break.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today. Generations for family, commitment to you, for honesty, respect for one another in our community. Trident Insurance, this gem is home for we. We're Trident Insurance, we treat you like family.
Barbados is celebrating 50 years of independence, and the CBC salutes the people of our nation.
We say respect to our forefathers who paved the way for us.
With admiration, we applaud those who uphold our honor and keep us in good stead.
And we encourage the builders of tomorrow, inspiring growth for a brighter future. A future where we all achieve our goals.
Happy Independence, Barbados!
CBC, celebrating our golden treasure.
All behind me there, you can see the marijuana plant.
Fetters and beats is
Sweat, I come out to sweat, I went to sweating more than you. I come to wine and jam and I sure to catch it more than you.
It was always a very boring job.
This is the future Caribbean Opera.
Morning and evening, we jumping up. This is me home and not leaving. I can't get over this.
Barbados health systems have been given top marks by the visiting head of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne. As Lisa Broom tells us, Dr. Etienne made the assessment after touring the David Thompson Health and Social Services Complex in St. John earlier today.
Dr. Etienne toured the various treatment rooms, the physiotherapy area and the gym. Afterward, she told reporters facilities like the one in St. John and the psychiatric hospital where she visited earlier this week were among the best she's seen anywhere.
How well you organize comprehensive health services, how well you ensure that people have access to quality and I say free at point of service services. So I think you're doing extremely well.
Dr. Etienne, who also has a special interest in primary health care, commended government for the attention it has paid to this subsector. She says there is evidence to prove officials cannot ensure universal access or lower costs if care at this level is not provided.
And these facilities must also be tailored to what are the emerging needs of the population. And so I was happy to see the physical therapy department. We live in a community where we have lots of motor vehicle accidents, and these road traffic accidents end in disability. We have a community with the prevalence of NCDs where we see people with strokes, and these people need access to physical therapy.
On her tour of the psychiatric hospital on Monday, Dr. Etienne says she discovered that admissions there were dropping. That, she says, could point to the fact that facilities like the David Thompson Complex are offering quality care to mentally ill patients. Meantime, Health Minister John Boyce says talks throughout the week with Dr. Etienne and other PAHO officials have been very beneficial. He also reported on a PAHO meeting in Washington, D.C. in September.
One of the notable outcomes of the meeting was that the region of the Americas was officially certified as being free of measles. This is certainly a significant achievement, considering the Caribbean achieved this milestone some 20 years ago. Remember, when we speak of the regions, we're talking about the entire Americas, Latin America and the Americas, and not necessarily only the Caribbean. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our staff in the primary care setting, nurses, doctors, and support staff who work tirelessly to ensure that our children are fully immunized against diseases such as measles.
The PAHO head wrapped up The PAHO head wrapped up the official portion of her trip to Barbados today. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
St. Leonard's Boys became only the second school on the island outfitted with a state-of-the-art music lab. It became possible when the Legacy Foundation Music Technology Studio Lab was officially opened this morning at the Richmond Gap Institution. The $75,000 lab is equipped with 14 student digital stations, each comprising of a laptop, keyboard, audio interface, and the relevant sequences and notation software packages. Now, students will be exposed to beat making, sequencing, and the recording of music at the current international industry standards. Principal Joseph Maynard said it was the perfect present for the gifted students at St. Leonard's.
My continued hope is that our students will be able to achieve their potential in those areas which they devote themselves to. In a time of economic hardship, the Foundation has shown that it is possible for schools and organizations to work together to provide improved facilities for students and to help them to make that leap or quantum leap in education.
And Io Burrows, trustee of the Legacy Foundation, said the day marked the culmination of a collaborative effort between the foundation and the school to advance music education.
Students, it is our hope at Legacy Foundation that several years from now, some of you would have launched careers in music performance, music engineering, marketing and advertising, recording and producing, teaching music, songwriting, or any other passion born out of Legacy's investment in your school today. We wish you every success.
And Education Minister Ronald Jones praised the Legacy Foundation for inspiring the students.
Our hope is here today. Hope in the bosoms of young men who will play those many instruments. And I've already heard the words of Pernell Farley. He says he wants to bring his steel orchestra back to being. And since your ears are wide open and your hearts are open and all enveloping, you will respond beyond what you have responded to so far this morning.
Well, an elderly man reported missing by police last night has been found, but it was not the result his family had been hoping for. Police Public Relations Officer Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler confirmed that the body of 79-year-old Gordon Giant Aline was found in a ravine close to his home at Church Gap, Hillaby, St. Thomas this morning. He says Aline's body was discovered by a search party which was led by police and included family members. Acting Inspector Cobbler notes that Mr. Aline was suffering from Alzheimer's, and he is urging people whose relatives are similarly afflicted to use all available resources to get help in taking care of them. Well, yet another Barbadian has reached the milestone of 100 years old. Millicent Ford became the island's latest centenarian today. Miss Ford of 3rd Avenue Parks Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael celebrated her day with His Excellency Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave and family and friends. She currently lives with her daughter Joyce and had a son who predeceased her. She has 2 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. Miss Ford, who worked as a domestic in her younger days, enjoys a plate of green peas and rice and fish or chicken. Her neighbor for more than 50 years, Anita Norville, shared memories of Miss Ford.
And I found her a quiet neighbor, and we have lived good all the years. We never had a quarrel.
And still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region.
Court's pot of gold